Anzac Day is a national day of remembrance in Australia and New Zealand, commemorated by both countries on April 25th every year to honor the members of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, Anzac, who fought at Gallipoli in the Ottoman Empire during World War I. The Gallipoli campaign was part of an Allied expedition to capture the Gallipoli Peninsula. Winston Churchill's plan was to open the way to the Black Sea. The objective was to capture Constantinople, now Istanbul, the capital of the Ottoman Empire, which was an ally of Germany during World War I. The Anzac force met fierce resistance from the Ottoman army.
This is Anzac Corps, just here, from Araburu to Hellespont. You see, like that one. Yeah.
Hills from Anzac Cove.
And behind this hill, main landing area, I'll show you better from there.
Anzac Cove. This is Anzac Cove. What had been planned as a bold strike to knock the Ottomans out of the war quickly became a stalemate, and the campaign dragged on for 8 months. At the end of 1915, the Allied forces were evacuated after both sides had suffered heavy casualties and endured great hardships. The Allies wanted a supply route to their ally, Russia, and thereby relieve pressure on the Western Front. The Allies hoped that an attack on the Ottomans would draw Bulgaria and Greece into the war on the Allied side. The British attempted to bribe the Ottoman Empire to join the Allies by offering £4 million, but Germany paid £5 million to get the Ottoman Empire on their side. In November 1914, the First Lord of the Admiralty, Winston Churchill, proposed a naval attack on the Dardanelles based on erroneous reports regarding the Ottomans' troop strength. On March 18, 1915, the main attack was launched with a fleet of 18 battleships with support from cruisers and destroyers in attempting to force their way through the Dardanelles. 7 Allied ships were either sunk or damaged in this effort. After this failure, it was decided that ground forces were necessary to seize the Gallipoli Peninsula. It took about 6 weeks for troops from Britain to arrive at the staging area for an invasion. This allowed the Ottoman forces time to prepare. They determined the most effective form of defense was to hold the high ground on the ridges of the peninsula. Roads were constructed, trenches and gun emplacements were dug along the beaches. This allowed an effective mobile defense with strong points and a reserve to be moved to the areas of landing. On the morning of April 25, 1915, the Ottoman troops were out of ammunition and with only bayonets to stop the attackers on the slopes leading up from the beach to the heights. The commander of the 19th Division, Lieutenant Colonel Mustafa Kemal, issued his now famous order to the 57th Infantry Regiment. I do not order you to fight. I order you to die. In the time which passes until we die, other troops and commanders can come forward and take our places. Every man of the Ottoman 57th Infantry Regiment was either killed in action or wounded, and as a sign of respect, there is no 57th Regiment in the modern Turkish army. The Allied attack was slowed, giving the Ottomans time to reinforce and rally. Ironically, the Allied evacuation or withdrawal from Gallipoli was the greatest Allied success of the whole campaign. By December 20th, 1915, all Anzac troops were off the Gallipoli Peninsula. The Allied casualties included 21,255 from the United Kingdom, an estimated 10,000 dead soldiers from France, 8,700 from Australia, 2,700 from New Zealand, and 1,300 from British India. Ottoman casualties were 87,000 dead, 165,000 wounded. The casualty rate was 2 Ottoman casualties for each Allied casualty. Lieutenant Colonel Mustafa Kemal later became the leader of Turkey and is responsible for modernizing the country. He is as important to Turkey as George Washington is to America. Many Australian and New Zealand tourists travel to Turkey for a special dawn service at Gallipoli. The Anzac Day Gallipoli dawn service has attracted many thousands of visitors.